This is what I call really trusting your nephew's driving skills.
Feed me! Feed me!
On day 14, we headed up to Glacier Basin Campground in Rocky Mountain National Park. It's such a majestic place. The next morning, we decided to go hiking at Bear Lake. All right, we're on the trail to go around Bear Lake, walking up. Should be an easy hike. Some cool scenery. Yes. Well, we made it up to Nympho Lake. So far I haven't seen any, but this is it. We barely scratched the surface of the over 350 miles of hiking trails in Rocky Mountain National Park. After our hike, we headed up Trail Ridge Road, which is the highest paved road in the United States. morning in Rocky Mountain National Park, so I'm sitting in my tent. We went into Estes Park today and I finally had internet, so I did a little research on my battery problem, and the fact that I bought the battery at 12 point, it measured 12.7 volts, and then when I got here to this campsite it was 12.3 volts. That's really not good. Anything below 12.4 doesn't mean it's charging like it should. It should be between 12.7 and 13 point something. So tomorrow Jason's going back to Texas and I'll be by myself. So I think instead of trying to make it across the mountain and going camping over on that side of Rocky Mountain, I'm going to just head back to Littleton to my daughter's house, and after that trip back to her, hopefully it'll make it and I can check the voltmeter and see if it's going down or up. If it's not charging right, then I'm going to end up having to deal with some expensive repairs probably in Denver. So I may be cutting my trip short, I don't know. That's the way it is so far, so we shall see. Okay, so here's the deal with my motorcycle. I ran all the way back to Kelsey's house. I didn't run, I took the motorcycle. But I had the lights hooked up to the trailer. I didn't have my running lights on. And when I got to Kelsey's house, I checked it again and it had actually did good. It actually went up from what it was. So it charged. That means it's charging. That was a good thing. So then I figure, okay, all is well. So then the next day I rode around Denver a little bit and I had my radio going and turned my running lights on. When I got back to Kelsey and Logan's house, I checked it again with the voltmeter, and now it's down to like 11.7, something like that, not even 12 volts. So that's, in all, everything I've read, anything less than 12 is absolutely considered dead. So then I'm worried, okay, it's not charging now. So I hooked it up to Logan's trickle charger and got it all charged up, and then I did some testing with it. I started the bike up. I checked the voltmeter when it was just in idle, and the volt was staying the same. It wasn't going down or up. That's good. When I gave it gas, the volts went up. That's good. And then I read how to check the regulator. If you get it up to like 5,000 RPM and just let it stay there, you don't want it to get up to I think they said 15.4. If it gets up to 15.4 volts, then your regulator has gone bad, because your regulator keeps it from going that high, and it never did go that high. I revved it up, everything was cool, and then I just sit there and let it run, and I tried different things. I flipped on the running lights and the voltage would drop 10 volts whenever I flipped the running lights on. So I turned it back off and it went back up 10 volts. I turned the radio on. Radio had no effect whatsoever, so the radio's cool. So I decided just not to run the running lights, and it seems to be doing great. I don't know why all of a sudden the running lights are dragging it down, but it charges okay as long as I don't have the running lights on. So I'm actually thinking about switching them out with some LED lights that use less voltage. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. But in the meantime, I'm happy. I've checked my battery several times. It's still doing great, so everything is good.